Macho Man Randy said...
Nothing means nothing.
Nothing
means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top.
Macho Man, ooh yeah.
Welcome to the Forum Thread Podcast. Unfortunately, I forgot what podcast number this is, so it's this week's.
47.
38.
No.
38.
37?
88.
19?
365,472.
309.
Stop it.
You saw it coming.
Stop that.
You set that up.
We are in podcast
38,
38, I do believe.
Yeah. We're at podcast 38. Thank you all for your very much appreciated help. I am Dark One Dre. Here with me this week, I've got Ray.
Hello.
There she is. Chaos Mana.
Well, that's creepy.
Hello.
Tijin Lee.
Hello.
And Nobod.
Hi.
And the long lost and much missed Mr. Fusion.
Yay.
Welcome back to the
Thanks for
land
having
of
me
the
back,
living.
everybody. And pardon me if I try to cough up what's left in my left lung. Still trying to recover, but I can suck it up.
So I
and
tried
make
to
it through.
replicate the Ray. Hello. Did it sound good?
No.
No?
Damn.
We already have Ray.
Tried
It was a
really
nice
hard.
try, though.
I'm very happy that I wasn't announced last, so now I feel like officially part of the team.
Well,
Back at the bus, go.
you know what they say, you save the best for last, and, because Mr. Fusion had been gone the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But hey, in my absence, I heard that you guys
It
had on
went
JJ.
quite
How'd that go?
well. We had a nice discussion about the film industry and just in general, it went very smoothly.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Cool.
Yeah, you seem really cool.
And we learned a
Sometimes.
lot about...
We have a pretty nice catalog of Rooster Teeth
yeah, we're gonna catch 'em
employees
all.
that have been on the show at this point.
Like they're Pokemon now.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
told.
we're
You know
really
what?
gonna get
give
Gus
me,
on.
Give me a
Yeah.
big enough Pokeball, and I will get him on this show.
Why don't we just get a net and rope?
Because I'm going
No,
with the
why don't we
Pokemon
just
theme.
divert his screen from the podcast? Like, he thinks he's showing up to his own podcast, and he's just transmitting up for ours.
Oh, that's pretty sneaky, Chaos. That might work.
No, what? I don't understand how that would work at all. I'm missing
Or
it.
if we
It would
get him
work for like
drunk
2
enough.
seconds until they discovered what's going on.
I bet we could do it during RTX instead of getting him onto the podcast there. If we can get him wasted enough, we could get him to come on our podcast instead by accident.
But how do we convince the rest
Just
of
switch
RT
the
to do
room.
everything for him?
The RT podcast is in room this. Totally. He'll rush off to the wrong room.
You guys really didn't know what went on. During
No,
RTX.
not
No
all of
idea.
us got
Did
to
you?
work behind the scenes.
Gus
so.
was like,
Alright, let's actually speculate now, okay.
Gus was like, he was in serious mode most of the time. I mean, he and Barbara, it was a pretty. I mean, they're gonna say it was very busy, but it was fun, and it's true. But it was very stressful for those two. Because on the walkie talkies, we need this, we need that. Where's this? We need that. Who has so and so? Where is so and so? Where's Joel? Blah blah blah. That seemed to be one of the main themes was where's Joel.
So maybe we should try
has
and
anyone
catch
seen
Joel
Joel?
first.
And
Then he'd
so-
be much easier because he gets lost all the time.
Oh, goodness.
I would think you would have a better luck at catching one of those epic Pokemon missing.
A
missing
a legendary Pokemon.
before you would catch Joe. A legendary. I don't
Learn
I
it.
don't know
The
this
youth
shit,
knows
so
it.
yeah,
you gotta be able
legendary.
to speak to the
A
youth.
shining Mokuba.
Yeah.
Man, 35 years old. Do you really think I
Say you're
care what the
35
youth
as if
think?
that's actually old, though. Jeez.
I know it's not that old. I know. Compared to like most of the original crew of
They're
Rooster Teeth,
fucking
yeah,
old.
I'm younger than most of them. Yeah,
Dude,
well, we're not
I'm
going to
older
talk
than
about
some
their
of them.
ages.
It's just like drives me nuts. Like I'm older than Barbara. I'm like, oh, this sucks.
Well, she's not an original. She's been
Yeah,
with him for
but
2 years. You know
still.
what? You know she posted a journal this week that I didn't realize this. She's
Yeah, I
only
saw
been
that
there
journal.
for 2 years. That's crazy. I just if it hasn't it felt longer to you like that she's been like
Well,
an
especially
employee
for
of
me,
the,
because it's
of
been
the
the entire
company?
time that I've been on the site.
I
Yeah, well, maybe it's just like not overexposure. That sounds like we're annoyed by her, but
I
she
will
is
give
in
you
a
that.
lot of the
Yeah.
content,
well,
so
like
maybe
Michael
that's
and
what it
Lindsay have
is.
been around longer than her, which is
It's like
surprising.
when
I just
you
don't feel like they've been around as long.
when you start hanging out with someone new or someone moves to the area and you're like, oh hey, how's it going, dude? And then a couple of years pass and you're like, really good friends with this person. It's like it feels like you've been here forever, but you've not really been here that long. I think that says a lot about her character and just how the community has really embraced her. That she actually has that effect. Like, what? It's only been 2 years? It feels like you've been here longer because she has such a big impact on the community, and she's like she's heard her voice is or her voice is seen, her face is seen, and so yes, people just get used to seeing her and like, what? No, it can't only be 2 years, but yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I was very shocked when I
I'm
saw
gonna
that journal.
coin that. The
I was
best
like,
friend
wow,
syndrome.
2 years, that's it.
That's what it
Wow.
is, where you feel like you've known someone longer than what you actually have.
Yeah, but all things aside, they have they've assembled, and I know a lot of the employees are community members, and those listening and those that are fans of Rooster Teeth buy all the merchandise. It's kind of annoying when everyone asks for a job, but there is always that possibility because they hold their
Oh yeah.
community in high regard, which is one of the reasons why I really
All they gotta do is
Rooster
go to
Teeth.
that careers page and just submit their shit, and then they're in. That's how they ask for their job. Just like they submit it.
Well, not always, because that's not how Michael got a job. Michael got a job because
Well, that
he
was
just
kind
would
of
always
before
submit
that
his
huge
videos
wave
on-
of
on-
everyone asking, and that's when they created that kind of
Yeah.
section of the website.
Yeah, that's true. I'm picturing
That's
someone
true.
filling out an application on there now, using what you said, and when they go to click the button, they go submit that shit, and then they get their job magically.
That would be interesting.
Well, and I think like working in production for a long time, my advice to the youngsters that want to either work for Rooster Teeth or get into that type of industry, you have to. It's not about being over the top in terms of just cheesy with your content, but finding a bit there needs to be a bit of originality in your content for one. Also, learn the craft, like learn the basics of what you're doing. If you're going to do podcasting, audio, or video production, learn the basics. Learn Premiere,
One
Pro
of those.
Tools, Audition, all these programs, and learn how to edit and cut properly. Learn transitions. Learn the basics, because if I see a lot of journals with people posting their videos on YouTube and stuff that they want to do the same thing these guys do, and that's
That's the
the
first step.
yeah,
The thing is,
it's the first step, and it's always a transition, but they have to grow with their material, and I think that's probably the best advice anybody in broadcasting can tell people, or media production, is to grow with your craft. Don't just settle for what you do and say, okay, this is enough. Like we do this podcast, and for the most part,
oh
we
yeah.
do it for fun. If it exploded and became this big thing, we know that
I would quit. I'd be like, I don't want to be
There's
listened
too
to by
much
that many
pressure.
people.
No.
well, the more listeners you have, the more dissent you create, and that comes with the territory of success. And there's more people, there's more detractors, there's more criticism, things like that, and you have to learn to tune that out. I think, like, I'll go back to that real quick, and then I'll finish my rant. But like, when Ruby came out, a lot of they were very upset on Twitter and on the website by all the criticism. Barbara was, Monty was, just the just people criticizing the product, and for me, it's like, okay, guys, you have to understand that it's a very popular. Ruby exploded in. It's technically not
exploded
anime,
before
but it
even
is
the first
anime, I
episode.
guess.
It's only technically not anime
But-
just because of the silly technicality of the actual location.
But when you create something like that that's so popular, you also leave a doorway open for more people to criticize, and especially with us being in this internet-based tough guy society that we're in now, it's easy for those people that they want to
Haters gonna
criticize
hate.
something that's successful. So regardless of the, yeah, exactly. So
Excuse me.
just coming back full circle, just know that you create a product, and as it grows, you have to adapt to the needs of your product. So if this podcast if it was listened to by tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, we would have to adapt. We would
What
have
a
to change
format
something.
that I
Right,
plan for some time in the future is something similar to what Co-optional TGS podcast has, and just having the video screens rather than just voices when the stream's going, and even having the actual video going there, everyone with more professional sounding mics. You know,
Yes.
slowly upgrading different steps of the way.
And I can have.
Well, that we have to start with
Oh, yeah.
internet
Or we
connections.
can all be in a
That's where
room
we have to
together.
start, 'cause
Well,
Yeah.
and
Um.
like, if depending on what can happen, like, the Google Fiber, different things. There's hopefully going to be a way to secure a lot better internet than what we have going now,
No, guys.
and even professional podcasts still have their occasional dropouts and glitches from time to time.
We need to do like they
yeah.
do on Resident Evil when all of the corporate leaders get together for their meetings, where they all holographically appear together at a meeting, all at a table.
Like,
That could be
Yeah,
a thing.
Pretty
that
cool.
would work.
Are you talking about like in
Yeah,
Star
well,
like
Wars?
with the
not
Illusion
creepy
Jedi
looking like the
Council?
Star Wars
Yeah,
holograms.
something.
We're the high quality Resident Evil style holograms.
The Elusive Man's a jackass. Could he at least not fucking smoke when he's doing a hologram meeting? I mean,
He
that's
sneezed?
just rude. you know?
Smoking.
Oh,
Yeah, that
No,
that digital
smoking.
smoke, it'll give you digital cancer.
Yeah, secondhand digital smoke
No
is
respect.
bad.
I don't know. I think maybe.
Yeah,
No,
he
no big
he
deal.
just lights up. There's Shepard. Hey, we got to talk. He's just, hold on. Fuck you. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette because I can. So really,
well,
you can do that
like,
right
the
now.
Would it
computer
be,
has
would it
to-
be
Any other
considered-
time when you're
would it
sitting
be
in your
considered
office.
bad manners in like I don't know what the time frame is, but like in 100 or so, or even more years, like the culture would have been different. It might be good. It might be considered a compliment if you suddenly light a cigarette in the middle of the conversation.
Well, I don't know, but throughout the entire trilogy, I have never been anywhere where someone just lit up a cigarette, except when it's the Elusive Man and you're having a conversation with
Well-
him via hologram.
Well, that would
That's
that
the
would
only
take,
time. So-
programming, but also maybe he just has the only supply of cigarette stuff left since Earth got.
Yep.
I
I'm gonna
just
go
think
with
he's a
jackass.
fucking jackass. That's me.
Elusive Man showing disrespect to holograms everywhere. That poor computer has to render all that smoke. No respect.
I know. Come on, man. Jesus. And he wonders why
Yeah.
his cells are
Maybe
buffering.
if you stop making so much smoke. Yeah.
Okay. So
I knew
Christmas
this was
time. We're
coming.
what?
Let's not
1
talk
week
about
away from
Christmas
Christmas.
time.
Wait,
We gotta
Christmas
talk
is
about
on
this.
Wednesday.
We gotta talk about.
How-
Can
I'm
I ask
more
you?
excited about the Doctor Who
Yes,
special
next
that's
week.
going to happen on the 25th. So
Oh, that yes,
Very excited.
yes. Doctor
Speaking of internet connectivity, there goes
Yes.
chaos.
My question is.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
chaos. Yes, we did.
Let's talk shit now. Oh, is the Twitch down?
Yeah, the Twitch is down. He'll bring it back up when he gets on. Okay, well, question: Am I the only one who sees this? But do people have okay? Overall, I'm a
Seriously?
misanthropic person, so I'm kind of negative about people as a whole, a body
Yeah.
of people, that they're just stupid. But is it just me, or does the intelligence level and common courtesy drop even
yeah.
lower
It
during
definitely
I don't
Christmas
know what
time?
happens to all that holiday
Except
cheer.
for the people that are paid to do it, or the people that are not stressed out by the holiday. You can always tell those.
But what I mean is I go to the store to just buy. I'm not Christmas shopping. I just go to run a
Sure.
quick errand or something, and people are just standing in the fucking aisles, just standing in the way of other people. They almost run over each other with their shopping carts because apparently whatever's they're there to buy is the last unit of that last item, so they have to be sure that they grab it. what I do is when I go out in public, I usually just like watch people and how they act. But
Seriously,
I
am I
noticed
to go
that during
back
Christmas time,
online?
they act
Yeah, I
even
try to
more
avoid
like
people most of the time, and
jackasses.
especially during the holidays. Christmas is the worst. The only good thing Christmas is for, as far as people goes, is if you venture out towards a Walmart around midnight, the night before Christmas, you will see all the really creepy people that stay hidden inside the manholes and cardboard boxes and stuff like that come out into the night, all in one spot. You're like, holy shit, these are the type of people that you'd see in like an X-Men
It's the
an
mole
X-Men
people.
movie or something like that, where they're all deformed looking, and they're the ugly mutants, the ones that are not part of the main cast. Yeah, you're like, ooh,
The Morlocks.
ooh,
Zombie number
Flesh
39.
yeah.
Morlocks.
They wouldn't even have to. They wouldn't even have to put makeup on some of these people. They could be X-Men zombie movie.
Alright.
Well, that's what they did in Dawn of the Dead. They just painted them blue, right? It's like, that's a zombie.
It's like, yeah. So that's the only good type of people watching I've ever experienced during the holidays. The rest of them, they're all just a bunch of self-centered, annoying fucks, and I hope that the last whatever it is that they're after gets stolen before they get it, just out of spite.
Question.
Answer.
What zombies do you prefer? Do you prefer like the magical undead zombies or like the rabid kind of like clawing kind of freaky
Rabid.
zombies?
Wait, wait.
Talking about like there's two types. There's the 28 days later that are violent zombies, and then there's the Resident Evil where
I
it's
like the
a
Resident
I would
virus.
say perfect example is
zombies.
like Day of the Dead
virus
or Dawn of
kind
the Dead.
because you get those adorable little lickers.
The
Good.
lickers.
Yes, they're so
Gosh.
cute with their exposed brains and
Yeah,
giant tongues and the giant claws where they can climb
Brain.
up the walls like a cute little scurrying kitten. Yeah.
What?
I really think it's much more creepier when you have the like the slow moving like undead magical demons, like a necromancer made them. Like it's all because of some jerk off who has magic
Jerk
powers
offs with magical powers.
or something like that.
They
Yeah.
ruin the world. They really do.
I just think that sounds cooler instead of rabies.
Rabies.
I don't like the rage virus ones because it's like, man, fuck, I don't get a break. They
I don't want
run,
to be
they
in that
haul
zombie
ass.
apocalypse, dude.
Why?
No. Like if it's the slow dragging ass zombies, I think that's fine because you can like take a baseball bat and you
Yeah.
can go to town on these bad boys.
The
All you have to do is go
They'll
north.
probably just
World
catch
War
the
Z
bat and eat
style
you.
zombies are just not cool. Or what about
Not cool.
the Will Smith ones, the I Am Legend zombie things? Oh my god.
I Am Legend, but those
They were
weren't
close
zombies.
enough.
Those were
they
mutated
burned
people,
in the
though.
sunlight,
Those weren't
didn't
zombies.
they?
Zombies don't burn in the sunlight. That's
They were more like
vampires.
vampires.
Yes,
Oh,
they
that's
did.
right. I'm getting my mythological
Yeah,
creatures
yeah,
mixed
you're
up.
getting your
How could I confuse
They did
zombies?
indeed
Yes.
burn in the sunlight, though.
creatures
I don't
of
know what was
lore.
up with that.
Yeah.
I kind of like what Walking Dead does with the like if you act more agitated, the zombie acts more agitated. Like I like if you're just calm and collected, you walk, and they'll still chase you, but they'll walk after you. But if you start running, they start booking it because they want that.
They want it.
My problem with the Walking Dead zombies is, realistically, those are rotting corpses, so they don't move very well. And if you get yourself caught by one of those, you're just a dipshit, But the problem with it, I mean, their counter is the
Right.
herd mentality, the overbearing weight of massive amounts of those slow dragging zombies.
Well, they got
That's
to
a pretty
fight for
good
food
counter,
when there's
but-
like more zombies around, so they got to pick it up a little bit. Yeah, it's just like
That's true. That's true.
So, but
But for me, the World War Z and the 28 days
I
later
still need to
zombies.
read
I'm
that.
tired of the
Are
whole
you-
zombie
are-
thing. They need to
I
give
do
it a
think
break.
that it shouldn't be. They shouldn't be able to have. I don't know if they're as technically zombies if they're able to move any faster, because aren't they supposed to be like undead? So already muscles and things that would allow you to move with any amount of speed would be deteriorating, and coordination would be near impossible.
They're not
without
yet.
very high motor ability.
Well, with the 28 days later, they're not really zombies. People call them that, but they're more of just infected.
Yeah, that's right.
people.
That
They
is-
have
Just
super
infected
rabies.
with the
That is normally
virus.
what they call them. They refer to them as the infected and not as zombies.
Yeah, because they're not technically dead and reanimated. Like the Resident Evil zombies, it's a virus, but the virus,
Yeah, the virus kills
reanimates
you and then
cells,
brings you back to
so
life
kind of like
just because it loves you that much.
Now, the Romero zombies are different in that they're brought back to life because there's no room in hell. That was the theory behind it. Hell got so full that it just started throwing people back, the dead
See,
back
now that's
up
a good excuse to make someone come back to
life.
life. Like, sorry, son, you're supposed to go to hell, but hell is full, so yeah, you just get to walk along as a rotting corpse up in the upper world until you decompose. Have fun with that. Like, hey, awesome! It's like purgatory, but in the real world. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right though. I'm kind of over the zombie thing. It's had its run, and I think
it's suffering from
World War Z
oversaturation
was
in the
enough
market.
for me. I mean,
I think
the book is nothing like the movie.
What's going to be the next big monster then? Like vampires are like
Oh, didn't you see there's the new Godzilla trailer out? Godzilla's coming back.
Yeah,
so
it's
big
be,
lizards.
Now it's just gonna be lizards everywhere. Every single video game is about you fighting different forms of giant lizards.
Wait, is this Hero Godzilla or is this Evil Godzilla?
It's actually supposed to be
a
combination of both.
Does he have an evil twin?
They brought it back.
He originally he originally is supposed to be evil, and then other monsters giant monsters show up, and he comes to the aid.
Why does he come to the aid?
I don't know.
Because it's his city.
I don't know.
How does Japan get him on their side?
It's because he's fucking Godzilla, and that's just what Godzilla does.
There's a metal version of me.
Giant
Fuck
monster
that
movies. They're called kaiju's. So, he's a giant. He's a kaiju. That's the thing. And I think Dark's right that kaiju would be the next thing.
We had Pacific Rim with giant monsters. Awesome. And now we've got the new Godzilla movie, which looks like it's doing it properly this time. It's awesome. So yeah, we're gonna have to suffer through the next Twilight movie thing with giant monsters with bad love scenes with bad actors, but we're gonna get some good ones too.
Yep, I like Pacific Rim. I know it was just a rock and sock,
I
but
think
it's
depending on certain elements, just because it's all fighting or all this or that, it still can be quite good.
Yeah, it had some big plot holes in it, but I could overlook the plot holes because of the amazing animation, and it's a fucking robot beating the shit out of a giant alien monster in the ocean. You cannot take a movie like that seriously. If you go to the movies to watch a giant mech warrior beat the shit out of a giant alien in the ocean, and you want to take it seriously, you need to just get off this planet. Go
yeah, sometimes
away.
They have to have a big realm of disbelief, especially when using things that would technically not be true or break laws of physics here and there. A lot of people pay too much into that.
When they said the aliens came off the bottom of the seafloor when an interdimensional something or other opened up, I mean, you can just kind of suspend disbelief. That's kind of like the whole pulling a zombie simile here. It's like it's the virus that unleashes the zombie apocalypse. Like, it may not technically be a realistic sounding virus, but that's the catalyst. It's what got this shit going, and based on what they use to get the plot going, you can kind of just judge how serious you need to take the movie. And when it's some interdimensional rift on the bottom of the ocean that brings the aliens up, you're like, okay, I see where this movie is going. You don't take it seriously at all.
Well, you have to suspend disbelief on most of these fiction, action, or whatever movies you want to call it, because, I mean, you think about it, okay, but people just want to complain just for the sake of complaining. We all have talked about that many times. And, okay, well, I'm not going to suspend my disbelief because this just is too outrageous of a plot. Giant fucking robots and aliens coming out from under the ground. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the original 80s version of Night of the Living Dead, the plot point wasn't stupid? It was a fucking satellite that crashed on... that came out of the atmosphere, crashed on the Earth, and the radiation caused the dead to rise again. Remember, a satellite that crashed, exposed radiation, brought the dead to life.
So that's basically
that's a really
the satellite.
fucking
The
stupid
only
plot
radiation
point.
it could have is UV.
The problem is that back then people went to movies and enjoyed them regardless of how silly they may have been. Nowadays, people just want to. Well, I'm living at home and I'm 800 fucking pounds and I have no girlfriend, so I'm gonna complain about every fucking thing and every fucking
No,
movie.
I asked
Just
this
shut up
last
and
week,
enjoy
but you
the
weren't here,
movie.
Mr. Fusion, and
That's
we're talking about movies, and I was so disappointed in all of you fuckers. Did anybody go see Frozen?
No.
Oh,
No, I have
my
not seen
bloody
Frozen.
I
God.
promise I will eventually illegally
Mr.
I haven't
download.
Fusion,
been
you
to
have
them.
an
I haven't been
excuse. You
anywhere.
had the pneumonia thing or
He had
bronchitis thing.
bronchitis.
So
Well,
yeah, you have an
bronchitis, but
excuse,
yeah.
but the rest of these people in this podcast do not have an excuse. I disown
Well,
you all.
I don't want to just travel to the movies just randomly by myself when I could be doing. Well, I had actually a lot of things, and I just now recently am not having things. So.
Yeah, I'm hearing excuses coming from you.
Okay,
Chaos,
way to be
and I don't want to
mysterious.
hear excuses. I want to hear your feet going to the theater and seeing this movie.
Bring
You need to go to the
Bring
draft
this
house.
podcast
and
with
I
you.
watch
want
it.
to see Pancake Theater to come to my draft house.
That would be a lot of fun. We need to do a pancake theater. That was one of the highlights of RTX 2013.
Wubwave has like every time that comes up in the forum thread or any other thread, he wants to do that. Like we talked about
We
Transformers.
should do a really
the
bad
Oh, like
movie
the
movie,
old
like
cartoon?
the second
He really wants
Transformers
to.
movie.
Oh no! I know. We do the
Last
Last
Dragon.
Dragon.
I've
The
never
Last
heard
Last
of it. That'll
Dragon.
be interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, with Bruce Leroy.
I never saw that.
The
It
Barry
looked
Gordy
horrible.
movie
I never saw
from the
that.
'80s. Oh, it's
talking
so
about, like,
bad. It's
Dragon?
beautiful. I mean, it's
Are you talking
so
about the Sean
bad. It's
Connery
beautiful.
movie where he's the
No,
dragon?
that's Dragonheart.
No. It's called. It's a karate. It's a kung fu movie that was based in the '80s, and it was produced by Barry Gordy from Motown Records, and it's all like
Oh,
Motown music and '80s.
I would
pop
love to get
music
drunk
and
watching something like that with
it's
you guys.
just-
It would be
it's-
awesome.
It's so bad. It's good. It's like one of my favorite worst movies of all time. It's so bad. It's
Yes.
good. The Last
yeah,
Dragon.
and we could definitely do something like that if we can't all watch the same stream.
Oh,
we
here
could
you
still
go,
have
breaking
it
my heart with
separate.
technicalities, Chaos. Stop it.
No, listen.
No, that's doable. We
Listen.
can do like a live
No,
stream. or
what we
something.
what we could easily do is if it came right down to it, just all start the movie at the same time using a standard clock like
Yeah.
say the US time clock. That would be the same for everyone.
Well, we just all torrent the same file
Yeah, that's what I
and
mean.
started at the same point.
You press play at the same time.
Yeah, same thing. Whatever.
Just press play.
Yep. But I know Wubwave wants to do like a Pancake Theater riff track for a movie that's, but it's got to be one of those it's so bad it's good movies like
Yeah,
Transformers.
people have to not be
or-
concerned about listening to the
less.
actual movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have to
Strange
be funnier than the
Brew.
movie.
That's not too hard for me. I don't know about you guys, but I can try to pick up
Thank
the
you.
slack.
I
on
think
that.
Yeah.
everyone else can
No,
handle
no
their own.
problem
It's just
with
me you
it.
have to worry about.
We just have to get Ray to giggle every once in a while, and it'll be okay.
Well, if we're watching The Last Dragon, trust me, she will giggle without having. We won't have to solicit giggling from her.
Well,
watching
we
The
just
Last
like
Dragon.
record her giggles, and when there's like a slow moment, we just play the giggle.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a new mixer for Christmas, so I'll just pop in a new sound effects drop of her laughing, and I'll just play that like an old radio show I used to do.
Or
Just play her
like,
laughing
are
over
you
and over
do
again.
one of those really either annoying or basic shows where you always play applause at
Oh,
certain
the,
moments,
oh,
or
the
Yeah,
canned
yeah,
laughter.
The old radios just. Yeah, you know, you have like the
Okay,
Zoosh,
okay,
the
I have
Zoo
another
crew in the
question for
morning.
you guys.
TFT.
Since you failed at going to go see Frozen, have any of you seen the trailer for the Lego movie?
Ooh,
Yeah,
no,
of
like,
course.
No.
No? Oh, Jesus. It's like
well,
2
I've
minutes.
seen
Everybody go on.
many,
Pause the
not
podcast.
very good Lego movies. Well, what's this one?
This one is just called the Lego movie, and the trailer looks fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It comes on, or when I saw it the first time, it came on before the movie that I was just trying to get you guys to watch. but it looks hilarious. It's got I think a character. I think it's Ganondorf from Lord of the Rings, but he's voiced
Ganondorf.
by
Gandalf?
Gandalf.
Ganondorf or Gandalf?
yeah.
Ganondorf from Zelda.
So that's the fusion of those two.
No. But the
Yes.
point that I'm trying to make here, even though I can't talk right, is that he's voiced by Morgan Freeman. So it's hilarious.
Oh my.
You've got this white-haired wizard with glowing eyes voiced by Morgan Freeman, and it's amazing.
You shall not pass.
And yeah, if you have,
Titty
you need to
sprinkles.
look up this trailer because the movie looks absolutely psychotic. It makes fun of a lot of different genres, and the guy like winds up spending $30-something on a coffee. He thinks it's amazing. Then he falls down inside a pit, and there's this chick with like purple stripe in her hair, and she's like, "Come with me if you want to not die." You're like, "Oh, this is how things are gonna go."
It's significant. It's significant because this will be the first on-screen like film appearance of Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman in the same movie.
Yes, they're all together, and in the same movie, and like they wind up going inside the guy's mind, and he has a pretty good idea that's absolutely retarded with like a double-decker couch, so everyone can sit together and be buddies. It's amazing.
How did,
Amazing.
I've only seen one trailer. Is there like another trailer out or
Yeah, there's
something? Because
two.
this is all new information to me.
It's
I
described.
like how Nobud is like sitting down there all like serious and like antisocial. He's like, "Yeah, there's two. Have you not seen them? I hate these movies trailers right now. Oh,
Well, do what you can. Can't please everyone.
I wonder if I'm tempted to play them, but at the same time, it's like all of a sudden, oh, not gameplay.
yeah." And then that song will start up where it's going, "Everything is awesome." That's in the trailer too. Everything is awesome.
Well, we'd have to all like mute if I was gonna play it with sound, which I think we could cut to trailers, which some podcasts have done. Though they've also had content revoked for weird reasons. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they've got a lot of.
Nah. Just let the people look it up
Yeah.
themselves.
That's what the internet's for. You say minions
That's also
listening
what
to
the link-
this.
That's also what the
We're
link
hype-
jump is for. Just
Go
in
look it up.
case.
Yeah, we're hyping it up. They'll go see it. We're influential.
Yes, quite influential. The Forum Third podcast will turn the tide of whether or not this is a successful movie or not.
Pretty much. The six of us will go
But
see
the,
it or
um,
not.
It makes you wonder how they grab this cast.
Yeah, it's
like, the
crazy, isn't
voice
it?
actors. Jeez. Morgan Freeman, Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Will Arnett, Liam Neeson.
Did you say Will
Jesus.
Ferrell already? He's in there too.
What?
Will Ferrell, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Why?
it looks like it's got a
crazy.
solid cast, and the storyline looks
Nick
it looks
Offerman,
completely
How does it
Alison
actual?
Brie,
How,
Jonah
how does it
Hill.
actually appear visually? Is it good and fluid, or is it odd?
It looks like well, yeah, no, it looks like a
Charlie
Yeah.
Day.
It's
Oh
like
my
like
gosh.
the it's like the cutscenes from a Lego video game, but in ultra high definition.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are not
exactly.
bad.
With people from
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny, so even better.
No, so I mean, Kobe Smulders, Channing Tatum, Jesus.
Have you
This
guys
is-
have you guys seen the
loaded
mashup
cast.
of Always Sunny and Pacific Rim?
No, I have not.
No.
I'll have to send you guys that link too. But it's basically Charlie Day's character says something crazy about the monsters, and then it cuts to like the Always Sunny like title when they play their music, and it's just like the gang fights giant robots or something like that, and it plays the music and like does like the intro. It's funny. You'll like it when I actually send the link, and instead of not describing it.
Yeah, because when the whole watch this, it's funny thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I hear an echo too.
We have an echo.
Ray,
Echo,
is this your
echo,
fault?
echo.
Uh-oh.
No.
You're being awfully quiet, so I like to blame the quiet one.
There's
No,
There's
we're
no
good. We're
echoing
echo
giggle.
free.
That would be great, though.
So I watched my first episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation yesterday.
And what'd you think?
I thought it was cool.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't see myself
Who did
picking
that
up the
noise?
series, but
I did.
I mean,
I didn't
Me
like
neither.
it. I never liked
I
the
originally, a
show.
couple years ago, I tried to start the show on Netflix, and I got 5 minutes into the first episode, and I said, "Nope."
Ken really loves Star
Oh
Trek, so I
my.
wind up watching a lot of the old episodes. Like when I come home, it's like mid-episode, so I'll make food or something like that, and finish the episode with him. And I'm like, I can kind of see the appeal in a disconnected sort of way, but I just can't get into it.
I want to get into
Well, how
it.
much
I really,
how
really
much
want
were you
to.
into any other Star Treks?
The original one was awesome.
None.
So
None.
that
I've
might
never
be
seen
that
any
might
of
be
those.
one of the highest reasons of you definitely not connecting with it the same. Because if you're not even used to the old one,
Well,
you
no,
might not have
my
any,
problem-
even the nostalgia.
Even I've seen the
My
old
problem
Star
with
Trek.
Star Trek is that I'm told that there's a one certain Star Trek series that I can't apply this to, but Star Trek tends to not focus enough on the characters itself. I like a good story-driven plot, and this one it feels very
That's what Next Generation
sterile.
does.
I thought that's what that was special
No,
about
it's
that
not
series.
Next
was.
Generation. It's or maybe it is Next Generation. It's the one where the chick is the captain, and they're like lost in deep space.
That's Deep
Janeway.
Space Nine.
Deep
That's,
Space
that's the one
Generation
I'm
is better.
told that I probably
And
would
it,
like.
and I heard that is probably one of the worst.
Oh no, it's
and
not
it
that
sucks
one.
'cause
Ken
it
is
has-
yelling
it's
from
the
the
one
other
with
room
the girl
that that's not
lead
that
character.
one. What is it, Ken? I just said Deep
Ken,
Space Nine.
tell us which one it is. Ken, we need to know this.
Help
The
us.
movies are by
Did I
far
say
the
Get on the
best of
mic.
the Star Treks and the original series.
It's Star Trek
Are you-
Voyager. That's
so
the
it's
one.
Voyager that you think I would like?
It was Kate Mulgrew.
There's
No. Okay, it is Deep Space Nine. He thinks
Nine.
I would enjoy Deep Space Nine.
That's the one with the black captain, correct?
Yes.
How many different captains have they had?
I don't know, a bunch.
I think there's been 5 series
It's
or
always
6
weird
series.
without
Ken,
Kirk or Picard.
How many captains have they had in Star Trek?
There have
So
there
Kirk
have
or
been 5
Picard?
series.
Honestly.
This is a mash.
Mr. Fusion says 5.
I mean,
is he right?
Ooh.
He says Commander Cisco is a commander and he's not a
Or
captain, so
confirmed.
he doesn't count.
Oh my god.
But he was still in
Okay.
charge of the ship. Just the
Okay.
name wouldn't matter.
No.
Okay, the series have been Star Trek, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then the most recent was Enterprise. Those are all the series. Now, there's the penciled in between Star Trek and the Next Generation was Star
What?
Trek
They
the
made an
animated
animated
series in the 70s, but that doesn't.
Hold on, I have to yell at Ken
yeah,
again.
I didn't.
Ken,
I never even.
did you know they made a Star Trek animated series? Why have you never told me about this? Oh, he says it's horrible. That's why he never talks about it. Okay.
Okay.
We don't talk about
Well, you know what's funny is that the original series only lasted for
76
3
episodes.
seasons.
Did it actually have a good conclusion, or did it just
80.
cut off because it wasn't?
It just cut
That's
off.
the
I
worst.
think it just cut off. Because it struggled with ratings it struggled with ratings throughout its tenure, and I think in season 3 they had enough
did it
of
have
it, the
any,
network, and
any
they cut it
similar
off.
voices or anything like that at all? Yeah. Was it like
With the animated series,
related to the people that made it, or was it just kind of this offshoot that some people were like, "Hey, let's make it with these characters"?
let's see. The series featured most of the original cast performing the voices for the characters, except for Pavel Chekhov. So the guy that played Chekhov, the actor who played was Chekhov, did not do his voice. He was omitted because the show's budget could not afford the complete cast. He was replaced by 2 animated characters who made semi-regular appearances. So everyone except for Chekhov was
So,
in the animated series.
The only thing I really like that's resulted from the Star Trek, other than I think the new movies are kind of cool, I really
I love
like
the movies.
George Takei and how all the stuff that he posts on Facebook. Does anybody else follow him?
Yes, he is very. You know where he got his kind of his pop culture fame
No, what
the
is it?
past 10 years from, right? He actually started going on to the Howard
that's
Stern
right.
show, and right when he came out that he was gay about 10, 12 years ago, Howard Stern was like, he was not a huge Star Trek fan, but he was, Mr. Sulu came out gay. We got to have him on the show. And so he had him on the show a couple times as a guest when Stern was still network radio. But then when he went to satellite and it was uncensored, he immediately had George Takei Takei.
It's Takei.
He had him do voice work for the show and has him on. He has him on like 3 or 4 times a year for a whole week. Whenever George is in New York, he comes on
that
for
is
the entire
awesome.
week
Oh, wow.
with the Stern Show and is like a semi-guest. And he is amazing. He is like the most relaxed. You would think he'd be uptight about the fame, just the
Yeah.
history of Star Trek. And, his run originally was supposed to be short with the TV show, and I think when they went into the movie series, he really demanded
"You
to
will
be a
give
part
me
of the
screen
movies.
time. Ha!"
And Shatner, he does not like the original cast that they do
I
not
can
like William
understand that.
Shatner. The
Shatner
guy,
is
they've
a
talked
bit of a
about how much of a
douche.
tool he is.
Oh,
Dude, he is
really?
81 years old.
He does a much better
Yes,
job at
yeah,
selling
he's
insurance
amazing.
than
That's crazy.
than he does. Is it insurance? What is the Priceline negotiator?
No, Price-
not even
that's
insurance.
the
He does a
trip
good
stuff.
job at selling trip
Hotel.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vacations.
What the fuck? Travel. It's travel. This is travel.
Expedia.com. Yeah.
Expedia.
Thanks, Ken.
But there was about 30 years that George Takei basically was making a living off of just doing conventions. He and the lady, I forget her name now, Nichols, that played Uhura. They basically, that was their living, was just going on conventions for decades, and
Oh
then
my God.
he started going on the Stern Show,
That just
and
dawned
he
on me.
became
Like
very
that's
popular.
that was the whole.
So-
Well, I knew the Galaxy Quest was based on Star Trek in itself, but what you're talking about, the whole in Galaxy Quest, they were kind of like washed up actors just living off of their old fame. Like that's actually what the real cast
Yep.
was doing. That is so cool.
Dude, I
You talking
literally
about the
just watched
movie
that
with
2
Tim
days
Allen?
ago.
Yes, with the
Just
squid
watched it.
aliens,
Ah, I love
Oh, wow.
that. Oh my god.
and they have that
I need to
awesome-
watch that again.
They have that awesome sex scene. Well, it's not really a sex scene, but where they start making out heavily, and then all the tentacles pop out, and he goes like, "Oh, that's not right." Yeah, that's as close-
Dude, that movie had like a shit ton of star
Yeah,
power.
watch
Yeah,
that again.
it did. It was awesome, and Sigourney
It
Weaver,
did.
like, not playing a badass chick that can punch aliens in the face was pretty cool too. I thought.
And of course, Alan
yes,
Rickman just
yes.
rocks
He
in
was-
everything he does.
And
He's so
he
funny in that
plays it
movie.
so straight faced. He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
all that crazy makeup on. He's got like that reptilian mask thing on the top of his head, and he's like the most serious character out of everybody.
By Grabthaw's hammer.
what a savings! It's like I'm not gonna say that stupid line one
I love it when
more
he-
time. And then the little
He was great as Marvin. on
he was
Hitchhiker's Guide
perfect
to
for
the
that
Galaxy.
manically depressed robot.
Yeah.
I still need to watch that. Or no, read that book.
I would like to read the book. I saw the movie, and I absolutely hate the way it starts. But if I just skip forward the first chapter on the DVD, completely skip the whole song with the dolphins in it, I actually really enjoy myself. Yeah.
Oh,
As
so
long
long
as I can
thanks for all
skip
the
the
fish.
beginning, I actually enjoy myself when I'm watching.
You know that's a book later on, right? It's a book title.
No,
later
I
on.
didn't know
So
that.
long and thanks for all the fish. Yes, it's part of the series, and I have all of them on e-format. So if anybody wants to read them, just let me know and I'll send them your way. They're really, it's very dated sci-fi, but it's
Yeah.
very entertaining. Douglas Adams knew how to write sci-fi.
Well, that's
in
the
a
whole
funny
reason
way. He
why,
really did.
like, I even enjoy The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to begin with. It's one of those movies that instantly okay, do not take this seriously. And having not familiar with the
Yep.
source material helped me be unbiased towards it, because I knew if I read the book and I was a fan of the book, I'd probably hate the movie. But for what it is, it's pretty funny, and I thought the puppetry in it was pretty good. That the what's his name,
Yeah.
Jim Henson, his studio was the one that was in charge of the puppetry, and I thought, wow, for puppets, these things are actually pretty believable. Really good job there, Jim Henson
Yeah,
Company.
they definitely can do sometimes even better looking than the CG if the computer's not high enough. It can make a puppet look quite lifelike, since it is mostly made out of the real materials anyway.
On that, have you guys
Yeah.
ever seen the show Farscape?
I think I've seen like a quarter of an episode
No.
once. and I wasn't really sure what to
Um,
make heads or tails of it.
It's awesome. Jim Henson Company does all the puppeteering in the show. I was just wondering if anybody else watched it because it recently came up on Netflix again, and I'm really excited because I never got to watch the fourth season because they took it off of Netflix before I finished it. So I'm just like super excited. I stopped watching Breaking Bad for it. That's how much I
Really?
like the show.
Why did you? Where did you stop
okay,
on Breaking Bad?
Should I spoil? It's a funny moment.
Well, yes, because it's
Oh,
All
definitely.
right, some guy got killed with a box cutter, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And
He died.
so like
Oh, okay. So you're
right in the middle of
you're
season 4, pretty much.
through. Yeah, you're in the middle of some pretty good stuff. Season 4 was
So like I
incredible,
stopped
so-
there, and then I switched.
Okay. Dark, you haven't jumped
No,
back on
I
it
should
yet.
have. I really should have started watching again when I was sick these last 2 days. But a friend of mine started playing SimCity with me, the new SimCity, and like I adore SimCity. So since I bought it, I've played 120 hours of it, and I'm
Oh my.
still
Well,
not.
when did you buy it?
Last week. So yeah, I have a problem.
Goodness.
So let's do the math. That means you had to at least play.
Maybe it's a week and a half ago. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sorry, I missed it. What game you playing?
SimCity, the new one.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Because yeah.
The one that was a
Wait.
disaster
1
at
week and
launch.
120 hours?
No, let's go with 2 weeks. That sounds better.
I'm just saying there's only 192 hours in 1 week.
There we go. There we go. We'll go
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Well,
Wait, 24
he
24
was
times
just
7.
playing that entire time. Ever since he got it, he's playing it now even.
Yeah, he's just worked this whole time. He's lying.
I lied. No, well, I did while I was sick. I did sit here on the couch, and because the computer is conveniently connected to the couch, I didn't have to do anything, so I just got to lay here covered in blankets with my arms sticking out on the mouse. And
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
so I'm like,
I'd
1 week
love
is
a
only
setup like
168
that.
hours.
ooh, he was wrong.
Yeah, I admit my mistake.
It's okay. I won't call you out on it or anything like I
I
just
will.
did.
Well, no, we could just
Well,
re-edit
speaking
it so you can call me out.
There you go. We'll do that.
8 days.
Magic of,
8 days
uh,
is
Recorded
192.
broadcasting. You know, speaking of new games, I actually have been playing the new DayZ standalone.
What the hell is
that
this?
Came out
Tell
a couple
me.
days ago. Okay, do you know what you don't know what DayZ
I am very
is,
familiar
right?
with Daisy.
Okay. There is a British military game called Arma it's very popular. Well, someone last year created a mod for it that is a
Actually, I do
survival
know about this.
Which is
Okay.
zombie
more
apocalypse
popular.
called DayZ.
Yeah.
Okay. Where basically you just scrounge for water and food and weapons, and it's you versus zombies.
Yeah, when I
and you
first heard the
versus,
premise of
everyone
the
else.
game, I'm like,
Zombies
They're-
and
who thought this was a good
survivors
idea for a
actually-
game? This sounds horrible.
Okay. Well, it was so popular that the guy that created the mod actually formed a software company and created a standalone.
Which will be on
He's working on a
Xbox.
standalone version of DayZ. Well, it's been off and on when it was going to be released. Well, a couple days ago, I think Monday or Tuesday, it just popped up on Steam saying, "Hey, we're in the alpha version of the game, but you can purchase it now." And basically, you have to pay for beta testing. You pay $30 for the game, and you're helping to kind of beta test it. But it is fucking
Well, wasn't that the
hard.
staple of the original
It's-
too? That
okay,
it was
it's like the
incredibly hard and unfair too.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. And the thing about this one is that there are less zombies.
Well, wasn't
in
it
this
the other
game
players
than
that
the
were
mod.
more
The
of a
mod, they're
hazard than
everywhere.
the zombies themselves?
Yes, because if you scrounge around for food and water, next thing you know, here comes somebody and they just blow your head off and they take all your shit and game over. So I mean, it's like you don't know who to trust. There were times in playing DayZ where you walk up to a person and they'll like just stand there and kind of just show you that they're cool, where they'll put their gun on the ground and just walk back. You're like, okay, this person's cool, and then you turn around and walk off and they pick up their gun and they kill you. I mean, you really, it's hard to trust anyone. And I think
Yep,
Chaos
I
is
heard
having
it too.
issues again. We've lost the
Again.
stream. For a few
Wow, that was interesting.
But
You
anyway,
should feel humiliated for that. Chaos.
Yo. Yes, yes. What are you using? A
Seriously.
1980s
Well, I
receiver?
might as
Ham
well be.
radio?
No, it's
Shortwave radio.
such it's such an indecisive internet because sometimes it can work as good or rivaling like fusion level internet here, but other times it's just like it might work, it might not. We'll see.
Well, there you go, Tejan Lee. If
Yeah,
you
I
want
feel
to, if you
that.
want to become a real person on this podcast, you should start. You
Say it
should.
again?
You
Say
should
it again?
start hosting the live stream.
I literally just stepped
There
away.
you go.
Oh, that's
What
right. You
happened?
did say you'd be right
Like-
back in the feed there. I
And I heard Tejan Lee over the headphones. I'm like, what?
yeah. So
I
we
jammed it
just
back
we
in.
lost the Twitch feed again because Chaos's internet is being an asshole. And so, like, hey,
Oh,
if you
okay.
want to be a real for real member of the Forum Thread podcast, you can start doing the Twitch feed.
Oh, but then I have to like do something on the feed to be entertainment.
You'll earn your keep, buddy.
Well,
Oh, man.
the internet's reliable enough to keep a steady stream. Like the last 3 podcasts went pretty much uninterrupted, except for like 1 or 2 hiccups at the very least, and they weren't that big. So it works well enough to keep a stream going, especially for what we have now. And to be fair, at least right now, there's not exactly. Let's see, there's only been Fusion and Tejan Lee posting in the chat, so.
I mean, people actually
You know.
post in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't
Our
look at
huge
that.
fan base.
Sometimes.
at
Yeah,
that.
the last one
Today-
they did, obviously, but
Today is not a big.
Well, I
audience
didn't
day.
get home in time enough to make the announcement on Facebook, and normally I provide a link on Facebook. But yeah, because I got wrapped up dealing with a customer that didn't realize that, hey, yeah, we're supposed to be closing, and hey, yeah, your account owner isn't actually in the office, and neither is the other team members that could be helping you with your issue. So he wanted to bitch to me about
yeah.
how much he didn't like our company. But that it totally wasn't my fault. I just work for an evil company, and he's not angry at me. He's just angry at my company. I'm like, okay, so why are you making me sit here and listen to you for a half an hour after I was supposed to have been gone? You are a cruel and unusual bastard.
Because he was secretly having you on the his own podcast. You were the special guest. He's just gonna post it about your company soon.
Yeah,
Makes
and
a lot of
like,
sense.
I'm trying to be nice to the guy. I'm like, and he was nice enough to say, he wasn't mad at me. He wasn't mad at the company. I'm like, I appreciate that, not directing your anger at me, but still, let me go home, please.
Could he have not let you end the call, or like how far are you obligated to keep going?
As long as they're not,
go all the
being like trying to be abusive. You can't really hang up on them. If they get mad at you and start swearing at you, then you can warn them. If you continue acting this way, I will end this call, and then you end the call. But other than that, that's really the only way out. And
So you have to be passive aggressive or something, and just kind of goad them into being mean to you.
No, I could feel for this guy. He had thought he'd gotten something, and he was having trouble logging in, and his account owner, wasn't there because they were off for the day. It's like, so I don't know why you waited until so late in the day to call for help when everyone that can help you is gone. Like this, I can't really help you when everyone that can help you is gone. Sorry, that's beyond my level of help. I can't turn time backwards.
He'll just say, "I'll wait until they come back."
Yeah, it's silly. Like, I don't understand the ideas that people get in their head. Like when I call tech support, I'm like, okay, if it's a really big company, I know that they're going to have 24-hour support, but I'm probably going to be talking to somebody in India or somewhere else, But if it's a company that I know is based in the United States, I'm like, okay, they're not going to have 24-hour support, especially when it's a small company. Like, so you gotta kind of have your expectations and know what that they will and won't do. Hell, I was really shocked that EA had such good customer support. Yes, I've had trouble with SimCity. Yeah, they keep
Shocking.
Like what?
They keep on rolling back my cities. Say, sorry, your city's not processing properly. We would like to recover your city and revert it back to
Oh
a working
my.
format. So apparently this is a new problem that's been cropping up ever since the new update. So I cannot actually play more than like 3 of my cities that I've ever made without getting this issue and having to roll it back to a pre-existing state.
Oh, why don't we watch you play Sim City and you can host?
Oh,
Well,
now you're trying to
we
get
can-
out of the
you can-
responsibility. But
Well, the gameplay isn't necessarily like I'm going to be
I
playing
can do
other
hosting
games and
meetings.
just doing kind of nothingness in Minecraft. I just wanted to make sure they were going to actually show up on the stream properly. So next time it'll be most likely a different game.
You should play a game that I don't know. Like, can we play like multiplayer? Like while we are on the stream?
We could if someone like Dark was still hosting his own Minecraft server. Like I could host a server here, but that might be a little bit taxing.
yeah, I can.
I don't
get
think.
the server
I
back
mean,
up
I
again,
would
guess.
host. I don't think people want to watch me play Minecraft because I have no idea how to play. So I'd be like on the side, like learning while we're talking. But
Well, to be fair, I'm not exactly doing expert stuff here, though I could switch to the higher grade Minecraft, which is the many things Ticket can do. Oh, goodness.
Oh goodness.
How far have you developed your... You said you were, like, gonna do the NPC mod and develop your own story. How far along have you gotten on that?
I've gotten several cities populated, and I've got several different conversation trees scripted, and I've gotten one quest set up where you have to find gold and diamond horse armor, and then you get a reward for that.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's really interesting, but I just haven't had time ever since starting the new job and having to learn the new job and continue to learn and continue to learn. I finally can have conversations with people now without putting them on hold and saying, "Let me find that out for you." But they're few and far between. Like I'm still
and then don't find the
yeah,
answer.
I'm still learning shit constantly. So it's like I just don't have the time to mentally sit down and exercise my creativity, because when I get home it's like, I'm mentally exhausted. I don't have the willpower to do anything. So that's on hold until I, learn all the things and
all the things.
the things. Or at least
That would be
most
a
of them.
lot of different stuff to keep up with. I can't imagine having to actually be able to know the entire everything. Because I can imagine a lot of customers expect you to have so much more knowledge than realistically possible.
Oh no, not necessarily. We're broken into different tiers of support, so I don't have to deal with absolutely everything. And most people don't mind, you saying, I really don't know what the answer to that question is off the top of my head, but you know what? I'll find out for you. You mind holding? And most people are like, oh, cool, yeah, just, as long as they know you're not just making something up and you're going to find the answer for them, like, they're happy with that.
I had a customer service person a couple months ago. Like I was trying to get help with my cable, which is always awful.
Oh yeah.
But this person was like clearly had no idea what she was doing, so she was like trying to like mess around, and she was like asking me personal questions, like as like she was trying to figure things out. Like she kept going like, oh what the shit? Oh, I don't know. And she's from India, so she was a little hard to understand. So she was asking me personal questions that I was like, because I'm super nice, and I'm just like, I will answer all the personal questions to be super nice. And I'm just like, what was that? Can you repeat that? I don't understand what you're saying. I'm just like, can you please just fix my problem?
I was asking if you were
Like, just
seeing
get
anybody.
me cable.
Are you dating?
Are you gonna come over from India?
How many children
Okay.
do you want to have?
All of them.
Wow.
She's like, you have date for Valentine.
That would
Maybe.
be so
So it
weird
was
if that
definitely a
you
strange
ended up meeting
experience.
someone over tech support. Has that ever happened?
I'm sure it's happened, dude.
I'm sure it has. You
I believe it.
love at first call for help.
I'm sure there's stories out there.
Did
where that's
anybody
happened.
see?
If they can meet online, they can meet over.
Okay, there was this short-lived show that came on Comedy Central called Brickleberry. Has anybody seen this?
It's still on,
It's still
dude.
on?
It's
I
still
thought it
on.
got canceled like
Yeah.
after 6 episodes.
No, it's still going.
Dude.
People love Tosh.
So there's an episode where one of the main characters winds up falling in love with. They're not tech support, but like they hire out staff from India, and there's these little robots with screens attached to them, and you have the tech support agent's face over the screen. And the one guy winds up falling in love with one of the girls from India. This robot with her face on a screen.
Is it like a live feed, or is it literally just a face?
It's a live feed like of their tech support. She's got the little microphone on over her mouth and everything. And she's like, "Oh, this is so romantic," and
That's
and
funny.
by the end of the episode, like they meet up in real life, and he realizes, oh, she's fat and she's in a motorized wheelchair, and the romance is over. But it's like, yeah, I could
That's
I
so
could see
sad.
something like that happening. Yeah, the main character, that guy is one of the main characters. He's kind of a shallow asshole. Not to be confused with the other guy who likes to fuck old women, but that's just the type of show. I need to. You say it's still on? I need to see more though. I need to see more of that show. It's so weird.
I'm almost positive that it's still on. Like almost 100%.
Almost 100%. So what?
He's watching it now. By the way.
99.9.
Really? I could have sworn it was canceled. Oh well. I'm gonna be looking this up.
On October 30th, it was renewed for a third season.
You are way off.
Way off. Okay. It's a funny show. Go watch it. I need to catch up on the episodes.
I'll have to watch it. It's 23 episodes. You know, actually, since we're talking about short series that are funny, okay, I'm going to recommend one that I was totally taken by surprise, but it's really funny. Don't Trust
That's
the
a
Bitch
show?
in Apartment 23. That one.
Wow.
Yes. It stars Kristen Ritter. She.
No idea.
I don't know.
Is she the bitch in Apartment 23?
Tall, black. She's the bitch in Apartment 23. But just the writing is hilarious. She's just this weird, crazy girl. Like, she's a bitch, of course. And she takes in a roommate that's, you know, some corn-fed girl that comes to New York and loses her job the first day, loses her apartment, so she takes her in. And, like, there's just a cavalcade of characters. But the funniest is the bitch's best friend is James Vanderbeek. And he's playing it's like he's playing himself, but like a caricature of himself. And he's so over the top. You gotta watch the show. He is so funny on the show because he talks about how he does these Korean like power drink commercials, and he's like, "What the fuck am I? Oh, I need to talk to my agent. I didn't sign up for this." And a subplot in the first season is that he's cast into the next season of Dancing with the Stars, and Dean Cain, the guy that played Superman on the TNT show, Lois and Clark, he actually is his rival on Dancing with the Stars, and just the whole subplot's funny too. But it's not like gonna blow you away, but it's a good watch. It really is. I'm surprised they canceled it because the ratings were good, and like I said,
What
it's a very
channel was it
entertaining
on?
show. So
Did they give a reason for
ABC.
canceling it, or
Probably
did they
because
just...
it had the word bitch in the title, and it's ABC.
no, it's they call
Oh.
it "Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23." That's what they called it.
It's like the shit my
But
dad
the-
says, but they replace shit with like
Yeah,
Bleep
they
My
call
Dad,
it the bleep
yeah.
my dad says. Yeah. If it's on the first 2 seasons, it ran for 2 seasons, and then they just abruptly canceled it in
assholes.
February of this year. Like they didn't even air the last 6 episodes, and then they posted them on their website. But it's all on Netflix. They're only like 22 minutes each
Oh.
episode, so you have to watch like at least the first 4 or 5 episodes, and trust me, you'll say, okay, this is kind of funny. It's
I
worth,
think
it's
everybody
worth my
needs to
time.
give Raising Hope a chance. Have you guys watched that?
I've been wanting to. I just
it
haven't
was so
had time.
funny that me and my girlfriend watched the entire series in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like just sat down, like 22 episodes. Just like it
Raising
was
Hope?
so. It was very clever. It's on
What's it
Fox,
about?
and so basically this young guy just out of like high school has a baby with a serial killer. Mom disappears. She goes to jail, and he's raising a kid with his 2 parents who are also like very like young. They had him young. And it's just, It's very amusing. It's like surprisingly
You had me
quirky,
at the baby mama being being a serial
a
killer.
serial killer.
Yeah.
And, she comes back every now and again, and it's always amusing how
I
she
need to
comes
see
back.
this show. Why have
So-
I not seen this show?
Yeah.
Tejan Lee, you
Because
it's
you're
my
not
eyes.
watching it right now.
Do you
I
have
do.
Netflix? It's on Netflix.
Oh my god, I need to see this show.
Yeah, it's the first 3 seasons are on, and I'm really worried because they put the show on Friday nights, which of course used to be a good idea, like with TGIF. Now
Not
it's
anymore.
where shows go to die because nobody fucking watches TV
Yep.
on a Friday night, so they're trying to kill it,
Nope.
and I'm very
Except for
upset.
WWE
disappointing.
fans, of course. SmackDown.
No, see, they
What's on
screwed
Friday night?
SmackDown by putting it on Friday nights too. That's exactly when I stopped watching.
No one-
it, because they put it on Fridays. I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
watch this anymore.
That's just SmackDown's a
It
stupid
is.
show.
It really is. I'm sorry for all the SmackDown fans out there, but your show was really stupid.
You're outraging all our SmackDown
Do they
fans.
do they do
mean,
they still
don't get me
separate
wrong.
the roster between
Yes,
shows?
they actually do.
No,
It's
they've
combined by
Actually,
superstars,
no,
but it-
no, you're
it's
wrong.
still separate.
I'm a wrestling person.
It was probably by far
No,
the
no, no, no,
stupidest
no, no, no.
decision that.
Well, no, they had a complete brand split in wrestling where those 2 shows were their own products. For the past 2 years, they've had all of the characters go back and forth on both shows. They've had all the titles, the belts go back and forth. So there is no splitting anymore, technically. And actually, as of Sunday,
Randy
there's
Orton.
only one champion. They unified the 2 titles.
Rated it.
So, yeah. I've followed wrestling since I was a kid. And
Daniel Bryan
the state of it now is
is
just
horrible.
embarrassing because Vince McMahon's product is all about fucking
Yeah.
social media, propping up. They have a stupid reality
Mm-hmm.
show called Total Divas on E that because the ratings are good, that's all they fucking talk about. It's about their apps trending on
They
Twitter.
talk
I
about
mean, that's what they
trending.
talk about. I mean,
Dude,
that's what they
every
do throughout the
fucking
show.
show
It's not even.
ever who has
They
a
don't even.
hashtag talks about
they don't-
trending.
They don't want to acknowledge that they're a wrestling
What?
company. Like that's their goal. They're entertainers. They're not wrestlers. That's the thing. They're
Welcome
not
to
wrestling.
The
They're
21st century version of
entertainers.
wrestling. Run away.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so bad. So it's just so bad. So I hardly ever I'll tune in every now and then. It's embarrassing.
It was at least
wrestling when I was a
entertaining
kid
then,
was-
because it
it
was
was
like
very
Who's your
entertaining.
favorite
it was like
classic?
opera, but with people.
The Macho Man
Macho
Randy
Man.
Savage.
Ooh, yeah.
That guy was a character for one, and he was actually a really good wrestler.
Would you say he was an
you know,
entertainer?
too.
Oh God, yeah.
But he was an entertainer. He could entertain, but he entertained through wrestling, and he was a character. I mean, he covered it all. He wasn't just one thing. Where like nowadays they want their guys to pretty much be actors, and wrestling's kind of secondary. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a lot of talking, and okay,
Well, that's
we'll
the
have
thing.
a
They're
5-minute
they're
match.
all like back in, like the early 2000s. They all had goofy kind of characters, and that's when I liked it. Like I just loved like all those kind of like crazy characters that they had. And then they got a little more like realistic. They just kind of got more serious with the stuff. And
Well, that's the problem with wrestling is that since 80, 90 years ago, whenever professional quote-unquote professional wrestling was there, they're like
80,
gypsies.
90 years ago,
They're like
dude?
fucking gypsies. I'm not kidding. It's been around since the 20s, 30s.
Going back in time.
Um,
Time. Oh.
but they it's kind of like a gypsy type thing where it's misdirection and all that shit. It's almost like magicians covering up how
it's
you do
the
the act.
if the good guys
Well,
and the bad guys just didn't do the same shtick every single time. Why do the bad guys always have to be cheaters?
That's the problem
and cowards.
with that industry now is that because in the late 90s and 2000s where they had the anti-heroes as the good guy, it kind of just grayed the lines, so no one knows how to be good versus bad. Now everyone has to be an asshole or say
It's
certain
like they've
things
never
that
watched
really
or
doesn't
read
make
a
you a good
story
guy, and
where
it's just-
their characters have already been developed for them. There's an archetype for these certain characters, and they just need to just be those characters. You know what I mean? They don't always have to play the same
The
type
point
of bad
behind the
guys.
people.
It's just
the
they're
point they
not
put-
unique in any
The
way.
point they make behind the people that you're supposed to hate is that you're supposed to hate them so much that you want to come back and watch them, see bad things happen to them. But then there's
But the problem
Yeah,
is now is that they don't know
like
how
they
to
try
write
to
for
make
these
someone
guys
good,
anymore.
but people just
They
end up
don't.
hating him. Daniel Bryan. I think he's making more people just want to turn off the TV instead of watch him get his butt kicked. I hate him.
Because it's awkward.
no.
I feel like they just create such an awkward atmosphere around it as well. It's just
See, yeah, and that's the way the creative department for these organizations run is it's all a lie. Like they have, oh, we're gonna have polls, we're interactive with the audience to see who wants to see who wrestle a match. What they're doing is they say one thing and they say, oh, okay, well, we're gonna have these two schmucks to carry our storylines further. That are, we want them to be the guys that win these online polls. I mean, they just skew all the information. They skew social media. They skew everything, and it's just nobody. It's just they're trying to mix reality TV with wrestling, and it's
can't
just
imagine.
it's
I
hard to
didn't
watch
know
now.
they put so much show into it now. I assumed it was just kind of fancier, like kind of what they do with a lot of other sports, just fancier like camera techniques and other stuff, but still the same sort of sport.
No, man, this is like it's like I said, it's like a
I like to
magic
compare
act,
it to an
like an
opera.
over the top magic act.
Yeah.
It used to be like that.
Now it's more
It used to
reality
be
TV,
like that,
but
where
in
you
its
had,
prime, it was like an
know,
opera.
Yes. Yeah. Growing up, that's why I really liked it. It was athletes that were in a kind of an opera setting with the story of good versus evil. Which any story that you have, good versus evil, is kind of the basic foundation of that story. And it's kind of changed from that. Like, like Nobody was saying, you really can't tell who's the good guy and the bad guy anymore. And that's just the sad thing is, okay, so am I supposed to cheer for this guy? Am I supposed to hate him? Am I supposed to like her?
Sometimes
I
it
don't
could
understand.
be placing like instead of saying that there has to be one side that can only be the right side, it's like presenting a whole bunch of different sides with different morals and values, and whatever one you identify the most with is the one that you can support.
You know what
rather
I would like
than
to
saying forcing opinions, basically.
I would like to see them take Honey Boo Boo and
It's already funny.
make her a wrestling, one of the wrestling bad guy, and have them all just kick the shit out of Honey Boo Boo. That would be a cause worth fighting for. That would be a
You're
cause worth
condoning
dude, I
child
can't believe
abuse.
they haven't done that
Yes.
already.
Yes. And then they'll, everybody will have teamed up. It'd be like the Justice League, the Avengers of the wrestling world, and they will have defeated the evil Honey Boo Boo and all things related to said genre, and they could bring peace to reality TV. Finally, I think this is
would be
the
lovely.
direction they should go, since they're they're trying to embrace the reality TV and getting people involved. Yes, start with Honey Boo Boo. Great start. Do it. Do I have any supporters?
There was a
Yeah.
Great
Let's
movie.
do a Kickstarter.
I failed. It seemed like a brilliant idea in my mind. I don't know why none of you guys like it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you think you have a great idea, but it's really not
there's
that
a
great.
movie, I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's basically
Okay.
about this guy who gets so fed up with just like kind of like America, like American society and like reality TV and how much emphasis we put on that shit. And it's just the story of this guy who just goes apeshit and just like starts like serial killing all these guys. All like the reality like
Do they put like representations of each of the people, or is it like an off-screen sort of thing?
I could see.
no, they put representations of the people.
I can see
like
a
they're
modern
not
Hannibal
the
doing
they're
this.
spoofs of the like the Sweet 16 or the 16 and Pregnant or whatever it is, and the Glenn Beck. There's a Glenn Beck like character that gets murdered, and it's hilarious. And I have to find the.
I could get behind that.
It's on Netflix.
Like that idea reminds me a lot of Hannibal from with Silence of the Lambs, where every person that he killed, they were actually like doing something wrong in their field of expertise. So if you had a serial killer that was going after all the like second-rate reality TV show stars, I could totally like be into that.
It's kind of what happens on Seven, right? In that movie.
What?
Seven. Isn't that kind of like what the he commits crimes based on the 7 deadly sins?
Oh,
So based off of characters who are, he kills people that
Great
are doing
song by the
bad
Dubliners,
things,
though.
like being lustful or.
Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah.
Does anybody get this
Dubliners.
reference?
No. All I have
Nope,
is that
shut up.
song
No.
by Flogging Molly coming through my head.
Me
Seven
too.
drunken pirates with the 7 deadly sins.
But the Dubliners.
Oh, yeah.
Dubliners did it first. They had a better song.
Uh-huh.
Seriously,
Are you,
Seven Deadly
well,
Sins by Dubliners? No one listens to the Dubliners? Fine, whatever. Continue.
No.
Nope.
No.
No, I don't listen to the Dubliners.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
this is
Thanks,
a good point
Nobod.
to
You
wrap
killed
it
the
up.
podcast.
Aw.
Okay,
I'm
Once
really
again,
I found the
not
name of
here.
the
Nobod
movie.
and-
It's
It
called.
dies.
Wait, TJ and Lee found the
It's
name
called
of
God
something.
Bless
What'd you
America.
find?
It's called
What's
God
the name of
Bless
the movie?
America.
God bless
And it's
America.
on Netflix.
God bless America.
It stars Joel Murray and Tara Lynn Barr.
Sounds like
I'm
a
on
star-studded
IMDb right
cast.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we've been going, and I need to spend some time with Ken before the evening is over and I fall asleep. So, have a good night, everybody. For
Yep.
those of you who are tuning in on the Twitch feed, the few of you that have suffered through the